Hi, this is Dee at Aloha, Astro. Let's take a look at the forecast for the moon transiting Aquarius, Friday, September 5th. Finds you focusing and fantasizing on the future. But the universe has a funny way of giving you an altered version tailored to suit your needs, fated relationships, and life lessons, rather than your planned conditions. As the moon forms a yod aspect pattern with Mercury, the Sun, and the South Node in Virgo, and Jupiter in Cancer, and in opposition to Venus in Leo, while Mars in Libra is trine to the moon and sextile to Venus. Paradoxes abound under this intellectual Aquarius moon transit, interacting with Mercury, the planet of thought and communication, in the discerning mutable earth sign of Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. Because if you ruminate over the details of the what, why, when, and how of creating a happy future, you are neglecting the most important part, who, the people you will choose to be enjoying that perfect future with. And my high school English teacher right now is probably rolling in her grave over a dangling participle. Sorry, Ms. Baumbach. Anyway, Jupiter in Cancer at one leg of the yod pattern, forming a sextile to Mercury, the Sun, and the South Node, and in a T-square aspect pattern with Chiron retrograde in Aries and Mars in Libra, while Mercury, Sun, and South Node are trine to Chiron, indicates that cultivating, healing, and improving existing relationships through sharing time, attention, and communication in the present will bring you a happier future and sweeter memories to look back on than any material conditions you are working toward manifesting today. You may still have mundane work to do, which you would rather avoid, but as you go about your day and interact with others, there are multiple sesqui-square and semi-square aspects which are subliminally enhancing telepathic communication, romantic attraction, and the willingness to jump at serendipitous opportunities. With some awareness and finesse, you can weave social interaction into the tasks of the day and play those subliminal influences to your best advantage. On the grander scale, realize that no matter how smart you are or how amazing your idea, there is nothing you can or will achieve without other people being involved somehow. So work on the who. And here we can see the supportive aspect patterns, particularly with Mars in Libra, which is relationship oriented, supporting Venus. These two planets are both romance planets. Venus is the pleasure, affection, familiarity, comfort, desire, and then we have desire as well as the action and the pursuit that comes from Mars and the more physical sexuality. Venus is more about the indulgence and sensuality and satisfaction. But we've got male-female indicator planets here in very ardent Leo and in relationship-minded Libra. And this is definitely enhancing romance and the pursuit of enjoyment, pleasure, creativity, and recreation with others. And Mars in turn is supporting the moon in friendly Aquarius. And then we've got this yod, which brings in a bit of coolness and analytical energy. And if you lean too much into that quincunx and you lean too much into this trine with Mercury, the Sun, the South Node in Virgo, making a trine to Chiron in Aries, and you're attempting to filter everything through your mind, and you ignore the moon to Jupiter, which is saying, hey, who do you align with? Who do you feel comfortable with? Where is there a good flow of give and take energy between you and another person? Who will work with you? Who supports your ideas? Who do you enjoy being with? At the bottom of the yod, we have that sextile aspect between Sun, Mercury, South Node, and Jupiter. Then we've got a minor grand trine, and that involves Pluto, Uranus, Saturn, Neptune, but it is really the undercurrents that are going on today. that is kind of pulling the day together, because there's more going on behind the scenes than what the appearances are or what people are talking about. This is the type of day where you can just tune in and pick up and read, the thought bubbles over people's heads if you want to, if you're paying attention, if you are putting down your devices and just hanging out, people watching, being with friends, being with people, and really tune in and see if what people are saying versus the energy that they're projecting or what their facial features are telling you, see if they line up or not, because there are undercurrents today. Some of the undercurrents in here include Mercury Sun South Node to Chiron, and then we've got Venus to Saturn and Neptune. We've got the Moon to Saturn and Neptune. We've got Jupiter to Uranus, Jupiter over here to Mercury and the Sun. Little connections all over the place that are just sending out these vibes, this tone, wordlessly, and influencing people to put themselves forward, to give in to their romantic yearnings, to go ahead and obey impulses, to take a chance, to maybe ask that friend if they want to be more than friends, or go up to somebody new and say, hey, how are you? And would you like to, I don't know, whatever it is that you would like to ask, particularly with Mars to Uranus to Jupiter to Mercury and the Sun. That is saying, just take a chance. You don't know what will happen until you try. And it is likely that anybody you are asking a question of is very likely to be feeling the same energy that you are. And that curiosity is going to play such a big role today. The big what ifs. We've got that Uranus there in Gemini, and it's almost like, let me see how I can kind of shake things up, break the rules, tempt fate, just do something to get out of the boredom and the routine. That is what that Mercury Sun South Node in Virgo square to Uranus is saying. And then throw in that semi-square to Jupiter and the sesqui-square to Mars in Libra, and all it will take is somebody presenting an offer that's the least bit different or interesting to break that boredom, and they will be inclined to say yes. Now you can apply that to romance, or you can apply that to marketing. Either way, you stand a good chance of getting an affirmative answer. Yads can definitely rule the day. This is probably the most significant aspect pattern that the moon is making, and its main lesson to be learned is that no matter how you use your intellect to analyze, you still connect with somebody else on a strong emotional level, and that you're not just detached and separate and apart from the other person, and that there is sharing and there is a give and take of energy, an exchange of energy between you and any other individual, or even a larger entity like a corporate entity. So the question there in the yod is how to improve upon that, how to make it better. Because the T-square with Mars, Jupiter, and Chiron is most likely going to find things that require some improvement, something to be worked on to make things better. And that's the task there of the yod. But you don't have to do all the work yourself. And ideally, the more the merrier. Well, we have the Aquarius moon because it is group oriented. So look for the kindred souls, listen to those subliminal aspects that are saying, go ahead, take that chance, meet that person, ask that question, um, see if there really are romantic feelings floating around, or see if maybe you'll get a yes out of that prospect that said no in the past. Try reaching out to them again. Take care, stay safe. I'll be back again tomorrow.